ever feel fine until you see someone doing better. One photo can make your whole life feel smaller. Someone gets promoted while you still feel stuck. Someone travels while you answer another boring email. Someone looks confident while you question every decision. Nothing changed in your life during those seconds, but suddenly your life feels much worse. So why does comparison affect us so deeply? And why does the brain keep doing it? Today, Max is entering the comparison machine. At first, comparison seems useful and completely reasonable. It helps you understand where you stand. It shows what other people are doing. It can reveal skills you still need, but comparison rarely stays neutral for long. The brain quickly turns information into judgment. Their success becomes evidence against your worth. Their progress becomes proof that you are late. Their confidence becomes proof that you are failing. And one small difference becomes a personal verdict. This process begins with an ancient social need. Humans survived inside groups rather than alone. Your position inside the group really mattered. Belonging could mean food safety and protection. Rejection could create serious danger. So the brain learned to track social position. Who had more influence inside the group? Who received attention and approval? Who had useful skills and strong alliances? That ancient scanner still operates inside modern life, but now it has access to millions of people. Your village once contained a few dozen comparisons. Your phone now offers thousands before breakfast, and those comparisons are rarely fair. You see someone else's carefully selected highlight, then compare it with your unedited private life. You see their result without seeing their process. You see the celebration without seeing the doubt. You see the body without seeing the lighting. You see the success without seeing the support. Your brain still treats both images as equal evidence. That creates a distorted comparison from the beginning. Social media makes the distortion even stronger. Platforms reward content that looks impressive. Ordinary moments rarely receive the same attention. So exceptional moments rise to the top. Perfect rooms and perfect bodies appear everywhere. Fast success stories appear more common than they are. The feed becomes a museum of unusual outcomes. But your brain mistakes the museum for normal life. Then comparison starts moving in two directions. Upward comparison looks toward people doing better. It can inspire you when the gap feels possible, but it can crush you when the gap feels permanent. Downward comparison looks toward people doing worse. It may provide temporary relief, but relief based on superiority never lasts. Both directions keep your worth dependent on ranking, and rankings constantly change with the room. You can feel successful among one group, then feel completely inadequate inside another group. The same person can feel rich and poor, confident and insecure within the same afternoon. Nothing inside them changed during that time. Only the comparison target changed. This proves comparison is not a stable measurement. It is a moving mirror controlled by context. The brain also notices what matters emotionally. If career worries you, then promotions grab attention. If appearance worries you, then bodies grab attention. If relationships worry you, then couples grab attention. The feed begins reflecting your most sensitive fears. That can make the world feel personally targeted. But the algorithm is not reading your destiny. It is simply learning what holds your attention. painful comparison often holds attention very well. So the system keeps serving more of it. Then the body joins the comparison cycle. Your chest tightens after seeing someone succeed. Your stomach drops after seeing another milestone. Shame makes you want to hide. Envy makes you want to keep checking. Checking creates another painful comparison. And another comparison creates more checking. Soon, the cycle begins feeding itself. Envy is especially misunderstood in this process. Envy does not automatically make you a bad person. It often points towards something you value. You may envy freedom because you need more choice. You may envy skill because you want mastery. You may envy connection because you feel lonely. The feeling contains information beneath the discomfort. The problem begins when information becomes self-attack. Their success does not prove your failure. Their timing does not define your timing. Their path cannot measure your exact path. Different people begin with different resources, different health, different support, and different responsibilities. Even identical goals can require very different journeys. So how can Max escape the comparison machine? First, he needs to notice the comparison moment. Name it before the judgment becomes automatic. This is comparison, not objective truth. That sentence creates a small mental distance. Second, compare details instead of identities. Do not say that person is better. Ask what specific skill they developed. Ask what habit created that result. Ask whether that habit fits your real life. Specific comparison can teach without destroying worth. Third, compare direction rather than position. Ask whether you are moving toward what matters. A small step still counts as real movement. Progress does not require winning the entire race. Fourth, compare yourself across time more carefully. Look at what past you could not handle. Notice skills that now feel ordinary. Notice problems that no longer control you. Your growth becomes invisible when you stand inside it. Write down evidence so memory cannot erase it. Fifth, reduce exposure to predictable triggers. Muting is not weakness or personal failure. It is attention management. You do not owe every account daily access. Protecting your focus protects your emotional energy. Sixth, turn envy into one clear request. Ask what the feeling wants you to change. Maybe you need rest training or connection. Maybe you need a smaller and clearer goal. Then choose one action you can control. Action converts envy into useful information. Seventh, build a personal definition of enough. Without enough, every achievement becomes temporary. There will always be someone earning more. Someone moving faster or receiving louder applause. You sit down to do one important thing, just one. Then your brain whispers, first, let's check one tiny notification. 40 minutes later, you know everything about an actor's pet lizard. But the important thing is still sitting there, quietly judging you. So you make coffee, reorganize your desk, and answer 3 emails. You are extremely busy, doing absolutely everything except the actual task. Then evening arrives, bringing guilt, panic, and one very familiar promise. Tomorrow, I'll start early. Tomorrow, I'll be a different person. Tomorrow arrives. Surprisingly, it brings the exact same brain with it. If this sounds familiar, you are not uniquely broken or secretly lazy. Your brain is solving a real problem, just on the wrong time scale. Today, we'll expose the trick and build a way out of it. First, Procrastination is not the same thing as choosing to rest. Rest is deliberate. It restores you, and it usually has a boundary. Procrastination is delaying something while expecting that delay to hurt you. You know future, you will pay, but present you still walks away. That makes procrastination less like laziness and more like self-regulation failing. The task creates discomfort, boredom, confusion, insecurity, frustration, or fear. Your brain notices that discomfort and searches for the fastest exit. A funny video removes the feeling immediately. The task does not. So avoidance wins, not because it matters more, but because relief arrives sooner. For a moment, you feel better. Your brain records that result. Next time discomfort appears, avoidance becomes an even easier automatic choice. That is the first loop. Discomfort, escape, relief, and repetition. Psychologists describe this as choosing short-term mood repair over long-term goals. Imagine you must write a report, but the first sentence feels impossible. That blank page does not simply mean work. It can mean judgment. Judgment creates anxiety. Anxiety makes cleaning the refrigerator look strangely attractive. Cleaning lowers the anxiety, so your brain treats cleaning as a successful strategy. Unfortunately, the report remains, now joined by less time and more guilt. More guilt makes the report feel worse, which makes escape more tempting. This is why scolding yourself often adds fuel instead of solving anything. I am so lazy turns one difficult task into an identity crisis. Now you are not just writing, you are proving your worth as a person. No wonder your nervous system would rather watch another harmless little video. To change the behavior, we must make starting feel emotionally safer. But emotion is only half the trick. Time also distorts motivation. Humans naturally value rewards less when those rewards sit far away. A finished project next month feels abstract. One notification feels completely real. Behavioral scientists call this temporal discounting. Distance reduces felt value. Future you seems like a responsible stranger with unlimited energy and excellent posture. Present you, therefore, assigns the task to that suspiciously capable stranger. The problem is that Ever notice how your brain gets louder when the room gets quieter? You lie down, close your eyes, and suddenly every thought clocks in. Tiny worries become giant headlines in the dark. Then an awkward sentence from years ago reappears like breaking news. Tomorrow's tasks line up outside your brain like impatient customers. Your body wants sleep, but your mind wants one more meeting. So why does overthinking hit hardest at night? And more importantly, how do you actually stop it? Tonight, Max is about to meet his midnight brain. And that brain has a lot to say. Max turns off the lamp and settles into bed. For 3 peaceful seconds, everything feels fine. Then his brain whispers, "Did you send that email?" Another voice adds, "What if tomorrow goes badly?" A third voice asks, "Why did you say that weird thing at lunch?" Suddenly, Max is wide awake again. His blanket stays still, but his thoughts start running laps. One idea triggers another, then 10 more. His mind opens old files nobody asked to review. It replays mistakes with director's cut detail. It imagines disasters that have not happened. It invents conversations that may never exist. And somehow, every problem feels larger after midnight. That is not because you are broken. It is because your brain changes jobs at night. During the day, your brain is busy reacting. At night, it finally has room to reflect. And when the world gets quiet, inner noise gets easier to hear. The same silence that helps sleep also amplifies thought. So nighttime becomes a perfect stage for mental drama. First, your brain loves unfinished business. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. In simple terms, Unfinished tasks keep tugging for attention. A half-done plan feels like an open tab in your mind. Your brain hates open loops. It would rather keep reminding you than risk forgetting. That is useful at noon. It is annoying at 1 a.m. Second, your brain scans for social threats. Humans survived by caring what other humans thought. So embarrassment sticks like Velcro, especially at night, when no new information competes with it. That weird joke from 2018 suddenly gets front row seats. Third, your brain dislikes uncertainty, and the future is basically uncertainty wearing a calendar. At night, tomorrow feels close enough to worry about, but too far away to fully control. So your mind fills the gap with predictions. Many of those predictions are negative. Not because your brain is cruel, because your brain is protective. It thinks worst-case planning might keep you safe. Sometimes that helps you prepare. Often it just keeps you awake. There is also a body factor. At night, you are tired, and tired brains think differently. Mental filters get weaker when energy gets lower. Small concerns feel bigger when self-control is reduced. A tired brain is less like a wise teacher and more like a nervous intern with full access. Then your body joins the chaos. One worried thought speeds up your heart slightly. You notice the heartbeat and think, why is my heart fast? That thought creates more alertness. More alertness creates more sensation. More sensation creates more worry. Now your brain says, see, something is wrong. This is how a tiny concern becomes a feedback loop. Thought wakes the body alarms the mind wakes the body even more, and sleep moves farther away. So how do you break the loop? How? Not by yelling at your brain to shut up. Brains are terrible at obeying that command. Try not to think a thought, and it often gets louder. Instead, the goal is to give the brain closure. You want to signal, I heard you, and we're handling it. Strategy 1 is the brain dump. Before bed, write down what keeps floating around. Tasks, worries, reminders, random ideas, all of it. Do not organize it perfectly. Just move it from mind to paper. This works because your brain trusts external storage. A note says, you do not need to hold this all night. Strategy 2 is making a tiny tomorrow plan. Pick the first small step for the morning, not the whole project, just the opening move. Open the document is enough. Reply to Anna is enough. A defined first step reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is fuel for overthinking. Strategy 3 is closing the day on purpose. Most people end the day by drifting out of it. Your brain likes a cleaner exit. Try a 2-minute shutdown ritual. Review what you finished. Note what still matters tomorrow. Then say, day closed. It sounds simple because it is simple, but simple signals can calm busy systems. Strategy 4 is lowering body alarm. Slow breathing is boring, which is exactly why it helps. Longer exhales tell the body it is safe. Safe bodies send quieter messages to the brain. You can try inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. Or just make the exhale slightly longer. No perfection required. Strategy 5 is changing your relationship with the thoughts. A thought is not an order. A thought is not a prophecy. A thought is not proof. It is often just mental weather. You do not have to fight every cloud. Sometimes you can label it and let it pass. Planning thought. Embarrassment memory. Future worry. Naming the thought creates a little distance. And distance reduces emotional stickiness. Strategy 6 is refusing the midnight courtroom. Night is a bad time for life evaluations. Everything sounds harsher in the dark. So make one rule. If a thought starts with, "What is wrong with me?" it gets postponed until daylight. Morning you is usually a better judge. Kinder, clearer, and less dramatic. Strategy 7 is protecting the runway before sleep. Bright screens, intense work, and emotional content keep the brain lit up. If you sprint into bed, your mind may keep sprinting. Give it a gentler landing. Dimmer light helps. Slower content helps. Repetition helps. The brain loves cues. Repeated cues become, "Oh, we do sleep now." None of these tools make you thoughtless. They make you less trapped by thought. That is the real win. Max is back in bed for round 2. He writes tomorrow's first step on a note. He lists 3 loose worries on paper. He takes one slower breath, then another. When a worry appears, he labels it instead of wrestling it. The thought does not vanish instantly, but it loses some of its power. His body softens, his mind gets quieter, and sleep finally finds the room. Ever check your phone for 1 minute and lose 20? You were not searching for bad news at all. But somehow the bad news found you first. One headline quickly pulls you into another. Your thumb keeps moving while your mood keeps falling, and your brain quietly tells you to keep checking. So why does bad news feel impossible to ignore? And why is stopping much harder than starting? Today, Max is stepping directly into the doom scroll. At first, the doom scroll looks completely harmless. It begins with a few headlines before breakfast. Then comes a quick update during lunch. Then one final check before going to sleep. But the feed has no natural ending point. There is no final page waiting below. There are no closing credits after the last post. No voice ever says that you are fully caught up. Maybe the next post contains something important. Maybe the danger is getting closer to you. Maybe everyone else knows something you somehow missed. That feeling becomes powerful very quickly, because the human brain was built to notice threats, long before phones missing danger could cost your life. A rustle in the grass might mean nothing. Or it might belong to something with teeth. The cautious brain often survived longer than the careless one. So modern brains still prioritize possible danger first. Psychologists often call this our negativity bias. Negative information captures attention faster than neutral information. It also stays inside memory for much longer. One insult can outweigh 10 honest compliments. One alarming headline can erase an otherwise calm morning. This does not mean that you enjoy suffering. It means your attention system treats danger as urgent. Urgent information always jumps to the front of the queue. And online platforms are excellent at manufacturing urgency. Breaking news makes the brain look immediately. Popular arguments make the brain fear missing the conversation. Each signal tells your brain to look right now. Then uncertainty adds another powerful hook. Incomplete stories are especially difficult to leave. You want to discover exactly what happened next. But online stories rarely feel truly complete. Every update creates several new questions. Answers quickly turn into arguments and reactions. Those reactions then create even more updates. Before long, the entire loop feeds itself. Variable rewards make the loop even stronger. Some posts are boring enough to make you yawn. But occasionally, one post feels shocking or deeply relevant. You never know which swipe will deliver that surprise. That uncertainty trains the brain to keep checking. It uses the same basic logic as slot machines. Pull the lever and wait for a reward. Swipe the screen and wait for a surprise. The brain learns that the next one might matter. Then social comparison adds another layer of pressure. You see other people reacting almost instantly. They appear informed, prepared, and emotionally involved. If you stop checking, you may feel left behind. That feeling is usually called fear of missing out. But doom scrolling also creates a second fear. It creates the fear of missing possible danger. You are not only afraid of missing something fun, you are also afraid of becoming unprepared. So constant checking begins to feel responsible, even while the habit makes you feel miserable. Your body also reacts to every threatening update. Your heart may begin beating slightly faster. Your jaw tightens and your shoulders slowly rise. Stress makes the entire system more alert. Alertness makes the brain search for more danger. More danger then creates even more alertness. Soon, your body becomes part of the scrolling loop. You are no longer simply reading the feed. You are physically participating in every alarming story. That is why stopping can feel surprisingly uncomfortable. Silence begins to feel like missing important information. Calm can even start to feel suspicious. Putting the phone down removes the feeling of urgency. So what can Max actually do about this? First, he needs to remove the endlessness. Do not wait for the feed to end naturally. Create a clear ending before you begin. Set a short 10-minute news window. Choose only 1 or 2 trusted sources. Then stop when the timer reaches 0. A clear boundary works better than a vague promise. Second, change the order of your information. Do not begin each morning with global emergencies. Give your brain something local and physical first. Find light, drink water, and move your body. Complete one simple task before opening the feed. Then decide whether an update is truly necessary. Third, turn off every unnecessary notification. Each alert behaves like a tiny emergency audition. Most alerts do not deserve that important role. Keep only alerts from people who truly need you. Let everything else wait until your chosen time. Fourth, notice your body. Before reading more content, ask what this scrolling is doing right now. Notice whether your jaw has become tight. Notice whether your shoulders are rising upward. Notice whether your breathing has become shallow. Those signals mean the feed is no longer neutral. Pause before reading one more alarming thing. Take one slower breath and look across the room. Remind your body where it actually is. Fifth, separate new information from useful action. Ask whether you can do something practical. If the answer is yes, choose one action. You might donate, prepare vote, or call someone. You might learn from one reliable expert source. Useful action closes the helplessness loop. If no action exists, more scrolling may not help. Sixth, create small obstacles around the habit. Move the app away from your home screen. Log out when each checking session ends. Charge your phone outside the bedroom overnight. Small obstacles give your thinking brain time to return. Seventh, replace the habit instead of leaving emptiness. Give your hands a book or simple puzzle. Make tea, take a walk, or message someone. Real connection often calms what endless information cannot. Remember that being informed is not being flooded. Caring about events is not the same as panicking. Constant attention is not the same as useful action. Max checks the timer and sees that time is finished. The feed still has countless things to say. It always will, because it was designed that way. But Max does not have to keep listening. He leaves the phone charging outside the bedroom. His body slowly exits the emergency state. The room becomes quiet and safe again. And this time, the quiet finally feels like freedom.